What's up, everybody? This is your man, Mr. No Edit, and this is my new show, the Mr. No Edit Show.
Mr. No Edit Show!
Bringing out today is a world-class dancer, b-boy, jitter, probably amongst other things that we have yet found out about. Introducing today, my man, Strings. Is that a good introduction?
Yeah.
What's up, sir? I ain't say Halim.
Strings is cool.
String, my man. Okay, you got a seat there? All right. Good? All right. Okay, so, as usual, we're going to just kind of jump right into this thing here. All right? We're going to start off with a little bit of history. What I really want to touch on is the b-boy to jitting aspect. And please give me some years.
Some years? Yeah, okay. I got into b-boying when I got into high school, probably my junior year. So I was
Is that here in Detroit?
in Detroit, Mumford High School. Born and raised, West Side, you know what I'm saying? I went to Edison Elementary, went to Bogian Middle School, and Mumford High School, graduated. So I lived all over the West Side, lived on the East Side one time.
Okay.
Yeah, but got into breaking around 11th grade. My late cousin Hakeem used to dance on the scene. That was my first influence of dance in general. So I was actually technically breaking when I was like really young because of him.
How old about?
I would say maybe like 7 or so.
Like 7.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? That's when we were just talking about Mustafa a little earlier.
Right.
That's when Mustafa said he was in his first group at the age of 7. I thought that was really young.
So like when he passed away, you know, rest in peace. You know, the family didn't want to talk about it, so it kind of veered me off to some other stuff. However, you know, actually I was drawn to dance still, and I used to watch the new dance show every day after I get out of school.
Okay.
Watch the jitters come down the line, so I was always into that. You know what I'm saying? I used to like dabble into it. You know?
Even though you were
Yeah.
breakdancing.
I wasn't breakdancing at that time either. You know, I was probably doing like, you know, old school hip hop stuff because, you know, we used to have to dance for, you know, family gatherings, you know, to Heavy D and the boys and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, we weren't like, you know, it was just something you did as a kid, you know, people like Michael Jackson,
Right.
Michael Jackson stuff. But,
This is before the breakdancing. Before any dancing, really. Other than that, you seen jitting by way of the new dance show.
yeah, by way of the dance show. And then, you know, singing in person some places.
Here and there.
Yeah, here and there. But like I got back into breaking, like seriously, like, you know, when I got into high school, you know, and did that for a few years. Started to travel.
You traveled with breaking.
Yeah, with breaking. Like I would go to New York. They had it's called the Rocksteady Anniversary. Rocksteady crew, legendary crew. There was that crew that was on Meek Street.
Yeah.
You know the guy. You know they had the circle in the Roxy, and you know he did the backspin, took the shoes off, you know, like that.
Right.
That's Crazy Legs. So that was his event. He had an anniversary going on. So at that time, it wasn't a lot. Just before YouTube and stuff like that. A lot of people didn't know about this. You know what I'm saying? So I used to go there like year after year after year, and that really inspired me. You know what I'm saying? Because that showed, you know, when you go there, it's just not an event. It's just not just battle. It's like 3 days, but you know they would have panel discussions with the G's and the dance. You know about battle etiquette, and you know where it came from. You know names, moves. So you would be around this whole environment. You know, and also there's people coming from internationally, dancers coming over there. So I see people from Japan and Europe, and then also all over the nation. And I noticed that every place had their own style. So like, you know, Miami had a style. You know what I'm saying? The West Coast had a style. The East Coast had a style. You know, Japanese people. You know what I'm saying? So that was it. You know, that was a great time because, you know, like nowadays everything is tangible, and it's kind of watered down because, you know, everybody can see what everybody else is doing, get a chance to take.
Right.
So at that time, I was like, Detroit, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder what style we bringing to the table. So that was like me, like, okay, have me step back and take a look at, you know, what can I bring to the game? You know what I'm saying? And
that's when the light bulb popped
That's
up.
when the light bulb popped up. You know what I'm saying? I always used to run into Mustafa anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because he did more than just jig. You know,
Right.
he can lock, pop, you know, all that stuff. I did a performance with him, you know, way back, and it was supposed to be just like, you know, all breaking. You know what I'm saying? I had like people with me who was breaking, and then he went out last. He did some stuff. He hit a jig, man. I was like, that shit is cold. You know, oh yeah. So, you know, Mustafa, man, you know, and the shuffle he was doing, and when I started to see, you know, more and more in JIT, you know, I was going to St. Andrews, you know, I see X-Men and stuff like that. But,
when you see X-Men back in the day?
yeah. And, you know, I was just trying to put the pieces together, you know, because I...
So back then, you were trying to put pieces together?
Yeah, like I said, you know, when I ran into Debonair, this was like late 90s, by way of Clue. I say that's when really I started to get into jitting seriously, because Debonair, without him, you know, I don't know where I would be, because, you know, he filled a huge void. You know what I'm saying? He knew the names, the moves, the crews. He basically brought up to speed everything I needed to know, you know, coming in the game.
Was he basically like a mentor to you, or just
I wouldn't say mentor, I just say key figure and a teacher.
Okay.
As far as the dance.
Okay.
You know,
so he helped you connect some dots.
Yeah, he definitely helped me connect dots, you know, because he knew the names of key people in the game. He could do their style, you know, he could do like various styles, and he knew the names of moves, you know, like when I used to ask people like certain things, you know, I would see like a lot of confusion, a lot of inconsistencies, you know.
When you were asking these questions, were these people around your neighborhood?
No, this was jitters.
Or
jitters. I would go
jitters all over.
General. You know, so you know, because I want to know, like, if I'm traveling and and I'm starting a jit or whatever, or they asking me, you know, what they got out there or whatever, you know, they're asking me questions. I want to be prepared, right? So I'm asking people who jit, you know, so that kind of like led me to the path, you know, and so I would hear the jitterbugs name a lot. Like,
how did you come across the jitterbug?
Well, just by keep asking, but this didn't come overnight. This was over a span of years, you know. So
Okay.
I put out an article. I think I was the first person to commission an article just to try to put the pieces together with the help of, you know, Dina Dunham, Debonair, some other key people, and that was like a start. That was early 2000s, and basically keep asking these questions. You know, just older people, maybe in music. I know, you know, it was Sundiata. He's a musician here in the Detroit area, drummer. But he was the actual connection with me and the Jitterbugs. But I was asking so many people, but with him, he went on, he knew another person who could connect me. And I guess that person asked them, and then they got a hold of, you know, they found out that there was somebody that was interested in the story, and then they eventually contacted me.
Okay.
And that's how
And this was all based on you just personally wanting to learn these things. It wasn't like you had
Exactly.
a documentary in mind.
The only thing I wanted to do was record their story, and put it on YouTube. That's all I wanted to do. You know? And that's in the first, when they called me, I was like, I just want to interview you, just kind of like how we doing now, you know. And I want to throw it on YouTube. And then they met me at my practice spot. It was the two brothers, Tracy and Johnny McGee. Some of that footage is in the film. That was the first encounter with them at my spot. I put the camera on, 3 hours, 4 hours once the film passed. I asked them all these questions.
Oh, now what year was this? Approximately.
Approximately 2008, 2009 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And it just morphed. Let me get the year right.
Yeah, yeah, it was probably around that time. So, so as I was video creating and this story is starting to unfold right there, literally, I was like, whoa, this is
probably bigger.
This is bigger. Like nobody is gonna sit for 3 hours, 4 hours to watch this. Like, this gotta be presented a certain type of way. And you know, by me having the my background, you know, going and traveling, seeing how Breaking did it, you know, because they have documentaries, they have instructional.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting because, like every one of our shows, you find out something different about a person, and that right there helps connect the dots as to what was driving you to get a documentary, what was driving you to go here and there and spread this dance, because of back in the day, you seen it firsthand.
Yeah. And then actually, what really inspired me was a film co-produced by Crazy Legs from White State. Put out a film called The Freshest Kids.
Okay.
And it's really raw, you know, film quality, everything. If you see that film, like, I basically took that feel and like brought it to the JIT film, because I was like, man, if I did a film, I wanted to have the vibe like this. So if you want to know about, you know, the early beginnings of Breaking, look up The Freshest Kids.
Okay. So, now fast forward to now. You are known for traveling and spreading the dance JIT. Is that something that just kind of happened? Because I noticed that people wonder, how is he doing this? How?
Okay, first of all praises due to the Most High. You know, my first experience outside of the country traveling with JIT was Stockholm, Sweden. And basically, I tell the story all the time how I did that. It's just playing my part. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lady from over there emailed me, and she wanted to know some more information about JIT. So I said, you know, oh sure, shoot me some questions and I'll try to do that. Certified, you know. And this is for me putting in work anyway. You know what I'm saying? So the reason why she contacted me because, you know, I already had the article out there. I've already been posting videos and stuff like that. So she figured I was a person that she could ask. So
now why was she concerned? Was it because of the music attachment to JIT, techno, or was it just simply dance? She was interested in dance?
She was the whole culture, you know, because she did an article, it's in a magazine over there and everything.
Okay.
And so it's a whole piece. And that's not just in Stockholm, Sweden, that's over the world. A lot of people look at Detroit because of historical accomplishments and stuff, contributions, artistically, creatively. So, so yeah, she got at me. I answered these questions, but I just didn't answer these questions like I put time into them. It was like I gave paragraphs. You know what I'm saying? Like I took my time with it. I took it seriously, and you know, I didn't know what was going to come about.
Mhm.
I just did it.
And it happened.
And so she said, thank you very much, blah, blah, blah. She replied, and she said, well, there might be actually an opportunity where I can get you over here. And then, you know, I was like, okay. You know, in my mind, I was like, yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
She said, I'll contact you, you know, if that, you know, if we can follow through like that. And so, like, actually a couple months passed, and she said, you know, got arrangements for you to come over there.
Now, was
So
it
that-
for a day, a weekend?
It was about like 10 days I was over there.
Wow.
Yeah, 10 days in Stockholm.
Oh, you enjoyed it. I was in a, well, never mind. That doesn't concern Mr. No Edit.
Oh, yeah. Mr. No Edit. Yeah, yeah.
I have to remember I'm not Ron Ford. Okay, so you went over there 10 days. And what did you take away from that experience?
Whew.
Something had to come out of there because you're keeping the momentum going.
Yeah. I definitely inspiration. Because, you know, like, you know, I taught workshops there. I had to do radio interviews. I had to do, you know, showcases with the dads, you know what I'm saying? So, it was a lot, you know, it's just experience. First time out of the country or overseas.
Oh, okay.
And so it was a lot. So it was a gang of inspiration, I would say, the most. And also, it just, you know, that's part of the inspiration is to know now, like, shoot, I've been over there, you know, what else there is, you know what I'm saying? It's open up, you know.
And probably as well, you probably, I mean, let me know if I'm wrong, but you probably also left there knowing that JIT is wanted. People want to know about the
Oh,
culture.
yeah. Yeah, definitely, because actually, like, man, it's steps in how I, you know, was able to, like, did this. I felt like I was guided because before that, because it would prepare me for the next step. You know, I already did the JIT versus Juke. You know, Juking, just to clarify, is Chicago footworking, you know. And that's not my fault. It's not my fault.
I just want to make sure that
Yeah.
the audience catches what you're saying, right?
Okay, yeah. So, like, a lot of people might not know that I'm the one who produced the JIT versus Juke at St. Andrews Hall 2006.
You put that together.
2007. Yeah. I put that together.
And you were saying something about what Juke is.
Yeah, so there's, Juke is an umbrella term in Chicago. It's the music, it's dance, you know, but it's not specific to footworking. Footworking that's the name of what they're doing. You know, you see all the fast footwork. It's called
So when
Chicago.
they're dancing fast,
Chicago.
moving their legs around, they call that footwork.
Yeah, Chicago footwork. Yeah. What they do. Okay. And much respect and love to Chicago. Like that event, you know, I even have to go before that because just this, like that just didn't come about. Like I just didn't all of a sudden had the ability to throw an event. You know what I'm saying? Like before that, in 2006, I got invited to New York for what's called Beat Writers, where they select how many people they select? 30 people from like around the world, dancers. And you have to go through this application process. You know, you have to show your skills from the camera. You have to answer all these questions, like 3 pages, and they select 30 out of like 7 countries to have this 1-week experience with the pioneers in the game. And then the intent is
The
to
pioneers of what again?
hip hop game.
Okay.
So, I mean, you were like in arm's reach of like, at that time, the year that I went with like, you know, Kool Herc, which is the father of hip hop, you know, Crazy Legs, Mr. Wiggles, Footwork Brian Green. That's where I met Brian Green, and I'm still doing some connection. You know, he brought me out to New York and other places.
Okay.
You know, so this was a connection. This was like a huge turning point and stepping stone for me because it's also we were able to take a lot away as far as business around things and events. After I left there, I knew how to do workshops.
Johnny
You know,
Show.
after there inspired me to, you know, to create my own event, which was Jit vs. Juke. Now, me being a B-boy, I get it both ways. Like, in B-boys thinking I'm a throw B-boy in events. My first event is a Jit event. You know what I'm saying?
Now, why? Is that because your path has just led to that? It just kind of happened that way? Or is there some type of reasoning behind it?
There's a reason. The reason is because I'm trying to contribute to where I'm from and for my people. You see what I'm saying? B-boying is worldwide. You see, I want to do something for Detroit. You see, and that's why I chose to, you know, to focus more on Jit as far as doing something like that. Yeah, I'm a B-boy. You know what I'm saying? But B-boy is already established. I want to help Detroit. You know what I'm saying? So I want to use my position. I feel like I'm in a key position to be able to look at Detroit from an outside perspective and utilize, you know, certain things, resources I may have to try to better us, better the dance. Because I knew, I was like, man, this dance should be just as known as these other dances that I'm seeing around the world.
And why do you say that? Why should it be as known as other dances?
You know why? Because it was a time where every time I turn around, years and years I've been seeing jitting, there's certain key moves that was been in the game. Now I'm starting to see them flood out. And no credibility is given back. And the only thing you can say is that the Jitter's been doing that before this. Jitter's been doing this.
Certain steps.
Certain steps, yes. Like
certain steps you see other dancers doing that, and they're getting credit for when you seen Jit do it first.
Exactly. So just
you know what's funny to me? I don't know if I should say this for this interview. Hold on. I'm gonna put a big light bulb right here. Okay. What's funny, peculiar, is I hear two different extremes, opposites about what you're talking about right now. You know, like the Chicago dance and spreading Jit. And on one side they say, no, don't do that because you're diluting Jit.
don't spread it.
Don't mix it. You can spread it, okay. Don't mix it. And like you're saying kind of the opposite. No, you're not really saying mix it, but you're saying spreading it. But you guys have the same reasoning in the middle. That's so peculiar to me. For instance, you're talking about the moves. The move. That's something that our mutual friend Mustafa had brought up.
Okay.
He was saying that's one of the reasons why he doesn't want to have Juke here, because of the moves. The moves were done here first. And we should get 100% credit for everything that we do first, then go that way. And you're using the same argument as to say, well, we need to move forward so that we can show people that these are our moves.
Well, I feel like
it's just a point. It's interesting.
Right now, yeah, we need to move forward because we missed an important goal, important wave that's not gonna come back, which is, and I seen it before it happened, and I was trying my best to get Detroit on the wave before anybody else to, because all dances is gonna be exploited eventually, and I knew that they were gonna eventually try to exploit a dance, a street dance, which was mainly of footwork. You know, I know house dance has already been established and stuff, but like a fast type of footwork. More aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I seen that Chicago, you know, we already know we've been doing it longer, but I seen Chicago gaining momentum
because of the youth.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because of the movement is, I feel that, I mean, personally, I feel that it's newer it's a newer movement. So when you have something new, it's like strong. Like we've been up and down, so it's not like that. It's that aggressive movement anymore because everybody knows what it is. Taking it around for a long time. I mean, they have new music. It's a push. And they have like a lot of resources to back it. So we missed the boat when the Missy Elliott thing came.
What's the Missy Elliott thing for those who don't know?
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so a lot of people, the Lose Control video, that song, they sampled Juan Atkins' track, Clear, Cybertron. Detroit classic. Juan Atkins is the father of techno music from Detroit. She sampled that and made it into a hit song. You would think, okay, that track is a gent anthem. You would think she would use jitters in that video. Now this was going to be the first time a street style footworking was going to be exposed to the world. Me and Debonair crashed the Movement Festival. Because Juan Atkins was supposed to perform, we get a hold of Juan Atkins' brother, which was man in the booth, selling t-shirts, whatever, CDs. And we told him, we got wind that Missy Elliott is about to do this song, and she's about to do a video. We gotta have Detroit Jitters in there.
Now this was you and Debonair.
And Debonair.
You said you crashed.
Yeah. Basically, we went up on.
You already had your ticket and everything.
Oh yeah.
But we still infiltrated.
We infiltrated, and we was like, yo, man, we hear about the song. Missy Elliott is, she about to drop this. It's
And you told this to Juan Atkins' brother.
Yeah.
Did you get to talk to Juan Atkins?
No. And shortly after the video came, but I was telling people in the gym community, it was like, yo, we should be making an uproar trying to get this. People didn't even know the connection of the song. They didn't know why it was important. And this is why history is important. Because I feel like if people at that particular time, they know now, but at the time when I was trying to make it a big deal, a lot of people didn't see the connection.
What year was this about?
I'm bad with dates.
Okay, never mind. I'm gonna. I just don't want to say the wrong date because I don't have it in my head, but I'll throw it up there during the video.
Yeah.
To give people a perspective.
I was making a big deal. I literally wrote Missy Elliott. I tried to find her the best way online and wrote why, before it came out, why you have to have Detroit Jit in this video. Before it came out.
It didn't happen.
Didn't happen. So that's I feel like we dropped the ball there because now if you ask anywhere on this earth footwork and capital as far as street dance, they're gonna say Chicago. So anything after now is really a moot point because that wave is not gonna come back. The only thing we can do now, I feel, and there's it's not to say that we're in a messed up position or anything like that. No, it's just I just feel like now we just gotta just consistently push, and there's a lot of still interest. Real people want to know real things. You know what I'm saying? So there's still a lot of opportunities and stuff like that. We just have to work a little harder. But yeah, man, that's why certain people knew I was maybe aggressive.
Were you talking to the different gym groups at the time?
I can't remember who I was, but I was just trying to talk to any and everybody at that time. I knew time was of the essence, and that's one of the reasons why I did the JIT versus Juke too, is because I felt like I know what the JIT looks like, and I was familiar with Chicago footworking a little bit, and I started to see just some parallels starting to happen. So I wanted to say, okay, let's just put them together so we can establish what is jitting and what is Chicago footwork.
Now, what was the outcome from that?
I think it was a beautiful outcome, man, and I think the outcome was, you know, that both sides for the first time was put in a platform where they could like exchange. You know, it was peaceful exchange, high energy exchange, and I felt like both left with respect with each other. So I feel like this whole beef thing now is really nothing. It's like it stopped right there. After that, you know, we battled it out, communicated, and that should have been it. You know, of course, you know, we can battle whatever just for, you know.
Do you think, and don't answer if you don't want to, but I'm asking because I'm thinking that maybe people out there who will want to know this answer. Do you, after that first Juke versus Jit, did you think that Jit came out on top, meaning that it looked like a more entertaining dance or a more technical dance, or I don't want to say better dance, or was that just not in your?
Yeah, I really wasn't thinking that way. I just wanted Detroit to represent, and I think they represented. But at the same time, Chicago represented too. They came hard, you know, so it just made for a good exchange. You know, a lot of people ask me, you know, why I didn't do any after that. You know, people don't realize it takes a lot.
A lot of work.
It took a lot to do that, and there's a lot of things people don't see. You know, like for instance, just getting them there was, you know, it was a gamble. You know what I'm saying? What if they didn't make it? You know what I'm saying? They were 2 hours late for a 4-hour event. I spent $2,000 for that venue. People don't know. If any fights would have happened or anything, I would have been liable. If any damage, I would have been liable. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I charge people dance for $5. Like, people didn't have $5, man. You know, I paid $2,000. You know what I'm saying? I'm not being a sore loser at all.
You telling the truth.
You know, I'm just telling the truth. And this is why I felt like, okay, by God's grace, you know, blessed this event. You know, nothing happened bad. Stuff could have went sour. Didn't. And I wasn't willing to do it again. So I felt I didn't have to either because we ended on a good note. You know what I'm saying? Boom. You know, if somebody else want to do it, I want to inspire. I want other people to do this now. You know, doing events and make documentaries.
What do you? Let me see. Real quick, what do you hope to accomplish with Juke or footwork in particular and Jit together?
Together, if we're speaking together, man, like shoot, man, there's things where like I feel like, you know, we should do collaborations, we should battle together. You know what I'm saying? I mean, me and King Charles is really close, and entering like house jams. You know what I'm saying? It's 2 and 2. That's something that's probably on the horizon. There's a lot of stuff because we can represent as a region. You see what I'm saying? This is a region. This is Chicago, Detroit. We bring in a footwork element. West Coast popping. East Coast breaking. You know what I'm saying? So if we look at it like that, then I feel like we should unify. And,
now you have Atlanta doing some stuff too.
Yeah.
I've seen. So my next question is: it sounds like maybe this is what's motivating you with your travels, because like I said earlier, you've continued to travel. I know you've been to China and different places, showing Jit. Africa, of course.
Yeah.
So what's motivating you is the same thing. Like you can still follow this backwards to New York. When you learned about how the break dancers were presenting their dance, that's what you still wish.
Yeah, because what happened, a lot of their pioneers got opportunities to fly over and teach. So after a certain amount of years, like over here in the United States, we're real quick to abandon our arts, and what and they'll soak it up. And then by the time we get back into it, they better than us. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that's the story. You want music.
Yeah, so you should definitely not abandon our stuff because it holds a lot of value of other places. Even when I created a business with dance, people was looking at me like I was
What
crazy.
business?
Hardcore Detroit.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? We perform. We've been performing.
Yeah,
since
what is hardcore? Real quick, what does Hardcore Detroit do? It's a business. Everybody's seen the logo, Hardcore Detroit. What does Hardcore Detroit do?
Well, when I first established it was a twofold type of business, which was, I was into graphics and clothing, so it was a fashion clothing line. And then, I wanted to do performances and things like that. So the other side of it was a performance group. You know what I'm saying? That serviced the local community. And then we also competed and traveled. So. It was crazy, it was at one point in time where the fashion label was doing really well, but then everybody, as years went by, just clothing lines left and right. So it got saturated. And then, now the dance is really has really just surpassed,
the dance under the umbrella of hardcore?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, with support like grants and stuff like that, I got a Kresge grant, $25,000,
Nice.
just to be a
You already did that?
Yeah, that was in 2010 for performing artists, and they didn't choose no ballet dancer, they didn't choose no tap, whatever. You know what I'm saying? They chose the b-boy at the time. When I applied.
So they may choose a gender pretty soon.
Well, it actually didn't tie along to it because in my application, and this wasn't even scripted, seriously. The time that this opportunity came around, I was just applying for a performing artist, and then it was suggested to describe some of your current projects that you were working on. One of my current projects was the film. It has a lot of history. So when I put that in there, I knew that, that would stand out because the whole Kresge thing was about, helping artists that's representing Detroit,
Right. This is a no-edit program.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me. Hello?
Oh, man, you gonna answer that?
It's Mr. No Edit's wife. I have to. Yes. Hi.
You get on film.
I'm not sure. I'll call as soon as I'm through with this episode. I'm shooting right now. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Bye. My last question, which probably won't be the last question. What's in store for hardcore? Hardcore is still going strong, first of all, right?
It's going really strong right now.
So what's going on with hardcore right now? What should we look for in the future, or the present?
Well, it's just it's so much with dance that you can do, and I know a lot of people, maybe on pages and things like that, are asking how can we do, make a living or take it to the next level with dance, man. It's just so much you can do with dance. And I just took one approach, and but with anything, I would start off, if you feel like you want to take it to that next step, you got to establish yourself as an artist. What is your take on the art that you do? What do you know about your art? Do you have an artist statement? If you're gonna call yourself an artist, yeah, what is your take on the art you do? Whether it be collaborating with something that's totally not, what it could be connecting your movement with the stars, it's gotta be a take. And you have to know how to articulate it and write it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to take it to the next level. But there's just so much meaning behind what you do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
By me, focusing on a historical part of Detroit, that's already gonna attract. You see what I'm saying? So its meaning behind that, its culture, its Yosemite, it's connecting the dots. I shouldn't have been the one to have to do that. After all these years, why me? You know, when I found out, like, damn, nobody know this, damn, why hasn't this been documented? No, why hasn't nobody written about this? You see, why am I this now in 2000 trying to do this? So, there's a lot of things you can do. Like I say, you know, we do events, private events.
Oh, you're saying
Understand this?
hardcore
Yeah,
gets hired
gets hired
to
perform.
perform.
And I've been doing this since 2001, and at the very beginning, when I've been doing this too, I've been incorporating JIT. You might not see, like I might not do a lot of posts or anything because, like, you know, it's a long story why I shouldn't have to do that, but we've done private shows, so many shows, and I incorporated the JIT, and I continue to do it, you know, because it shows Detroit culture to different audiences, put it on platforms to be seen. So that's because a lot of times, you know, JIT is not set up. You know, I know they did a lot of performances, Dream Team in the past, but you know, with breaking, I found it was a good mesh. It's like jitting. When you add jit, it's like that cherry on top. Because a lot of people want to see like these power dynamic moves and stuff like that, but then all of a sudden, here go this style that comes out like, woo! And I always get like funk. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. But
so I mean, I'm just letting people know that there is a whole bunch of slew of things you can do. You know, it's not one dimensional. Like, oh, you can just perform. Or, you know, you can get grants. You know, you can do collaborations. The reason why I went to China because I was collaborating with a group called the Hinterlands. The Hinterlands.
the hinterlands. Okay.
Yeah, they're like a theatrical ensemble, and they wanted to do a piece with me, you know, and just so happened that piece got selected to perform in China.
How did that work out?
It worked out really well. You know what I'm saying? It actually might be potential for me to go back, you know.
So, piggybacking off something you said, is it possible in the near future for a jitter to live off jitting?
Well, see, I'm not. It's about learning the business, whatever if you're a musician, whatever. Just learning the business behind any and everything. You don't have to go to school for it. I didn't go to school for business. You know what I'm saying? So I've learned along the way a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Like even like public speaking or stuff like that. Like I had fears. You know, like going through this path. It's actually been like
Confident boosting?
yeah, you know, I've learned a lot. You see what I'm saying? So I tell people just start. Just start, man. People think they need to like do all of this preparation. You know, just start. Whatever you
Jump
want to do,
in.
just jump in. That's what I did. I just started.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I try to get people to understand, man. You know, it's not gonna come overnight. You know what I'm saying? But you're gonna have to sacrifice something. You know, I had to sacrifice my dancing sometimes. Like when I was doing this film, I wasn't dancing like I can practice. So I had to sacrifice something just to get that film out. You know what I'm saying? So
Now that the film has been out for a while, are you totally happy with the results of the film?
I am, because I feel like
It
I
opened lots
didn't
of
rush
doors?
it. Yeah, open up doors, definitely. You know, and what I wanted to do is, I feel like, I reached the goal that I wanted to do, which was inspire other people to start making moves too. Like even what you're doing right now, something we need. You know what I'm saying? Like I watched Reggie's. Shout out to Reg. I watched bunch. I watched Floyd and Visco, Bad Dancer. You know, like even that's still connecting the dots for me.
Yes, sir.
You know, so you got Fluff, you know, producing. You got Kasimbe working with the youth. You know, there's a lot of people. Michael Smith working with youth teaching. So there's a lot of people that's doing it, so we can cover more ground.
I said it all matters.
It all matters. Use what you got. You know what I'm saying? We all multi-talented. It just so happened that I had a editing background, graphics, and I just used what I had to
Continue talking.
yeah, and try to just push the culture. And I feel like everybody can contribute some type of way, so you might have something that I don't have, whether, some type of resource that I might not have, use that to help push your culture in your way, you know what I'm saying?
Big glass of water. So right now, you gonna do some moves for us?
I guess so.
You gonna show a little something?
I guess so. Oh, another thing I wanted to say though, man. I wanted to say a lot of stuff, but
Oh, go for it. Go
I know I
for
just
it.
don't want to
This
be too
thing
long-winded.
no edit.
I didn't want to be too long-winded.
And you've been to class for editing and things like that, so I know this is a little different.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
like
raw.
this. I like this. We need this.
Thank you, sir.
We need this, man. But I was going to say that one of the things I feel like we could do is two things. We can end it there. To push the culture. Is one, I feel like we should take a step back and really revisit like how they was jitting in the past. Now keep in mind, jitting was before techno music, so it's actually began as a funk style.
Yeah.
The jitter
Funk
was,
music.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so,
George Clinton.
yeah. So, the way they were doing it, like I feel, and this is what I've been trying to do over the past years, is combine the classics forms with contemporary forms of jit.
Now break that down for the people.
So we all know how the jit looks like now. So people are doing it, real fast, crossover steps, wiggles, whatever. But the way they were doing it back in the day, had its own look too. So I feel like if we want to, expand, one way we can do it is to bring them together now and see what comes out of that. Also, as far as music, I talk with people about this all the time. I'm saying we need a new sound. One thing that Chicago did, we can learn from Chicago, is they took a sample from one of their classic songs, house tracks. His house is from Chicago, and freaked it, sped it up, and that's the main frame from the juke music you hear, the footworking music you hear. We could do something similar. We could take a Juan Atkins classic sample, freak the hell out of it, create something new. You know what I'm saying? Because the dance movement follows the music. So that's just a couple of suggestions, man. We need the producers. Pretty sure a lot of people know Nick Speed. You know what I'm saying? He's actually working on something now called G-Tech, where he's doing that.
Who is?
Nick Speed. So he's working on something now called G-Tech, and it's kind of basically what I just broke down. That's what we need to do, it's just to push it and make it new. Because if you make it new, I feel like it can create a stronger movement. It makes it new again. So that's just some suggestions that I propose.
Anything else?
Yeah. There's no such thing as the best dancer. I battle.
All views.
Now, there's great dancers, as we know, but I know everybody want to be the best and stuff like that, and it's cool. But as long as you mention the best, you should be happy. I battle all the time. I see dope dancers across the world all the time.
Now, why are you saying this?
Because I feel like it's a reason. because I feel like it's holding people back. You know, when
Oh.
you're reading the pages on Facebook and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah, yeah.
the groups, and I guess people feel like they have to be the best in order to have a certain slot. You know what I'm saying? But-
So basically, like to have a say,
or have a slot, or
a view,
to
or a voice.
to
What do you mean by slot?
like in order to feel that they should be granted certain things, you know, I should be in that position because I'm better than you. You know what
Oh.
I'm saying?
Oh.
Like, I had an
I
opportunity.
understand.
Yeah, I had an opportunity to talk to a face-to-face rep from Block Agency, which is one of the major, you know, entertainment agency in the U.S. You know, constantly book people for the tours, you know, Beyonce tours, whatever.
And you work with them?
Yeah, I didn't work on them, but they brought them here through the Kresge Foundation. We've had this thing where, you know, they just don't give you the money, but they implement things like that so you can learn and go even further.
Nice.
So they brought this lady out,
Okay.
and I was able to speak to her, and she said, you know, yeah, we got great talent, but, you know, that is, that's not what's major. It's like, you know,
Work
what's-
ethics, isn't it?
yeah, it was important, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Discipline.
exactly. So that's really going to take you to the next step. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we all good dancers, but you know,
That's a good
it's all
point.
that other stuff. You know, that you
Don't
got
let you not being the best
Exactly.
hold you back.
back, right? Like, just don't work on your craft. Work on other stuff outside of your craft. That's going to, you know, put you in a position where you need to be to show your craft. You know what I'm saying? So, invest in yourself. You know.
Quit worrying about the other man's slot as well.
I mean, you know, it's a big enough pie for everybody. Don't put limits on God. He's bountiful, boundless. You know, so don't feel like if you know I got to start, he got a slot that you can't be there too. You putting limits. So don't feel like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying I didn't get here in this position doing that at all. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm a Muslim. You know, and I believe that you know a lot of the things that was acquired through the grace of God, and you know, just trying to be a good person. You know, and it's just been blessed.
It's been happening.
Yeah. And that's my testimony. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave it there. You know, maybe
You
show
sure?
part 2. You know.
Well, yeah, we can do a part 2 and 3.
Yeah.
You know, like Mustafa, he owed me like in part 8, 9, 10. You
I
know,
want to watch Mustafa's, man. Man, bro, we got to come together.
He has all what? Yeah. He.
You know.
But again, this is your truth. This is your truth.
Yeah.
So while I'm getting the camera and we're gonna head to the workroom, and we think of some songs.
Okay.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Like you said, you had quite a few things you wanted to say.
Yeah, I just hope whatever, you know, I was able to maybe shed some light on myself, where I come from, and you know, maybe help somebody else get to where they need to get, you know.
Right.
You know, but all praise is due to the Most High, and you know, keep this shit alive. You know.
Well, I got you right here. We are back. Yeah, if you know, it's up to you if you want to shoot some moves or not. Just let my man DJ Deadline know what you want to hear.
So, how was it?
What else you got? What else you got? It's more disco, though. And I feel like, you know, you want to whack and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But it's just cold, though.
What you want to hit? You want to hit the old school techno or what you want? You want house?
What else you got?
You got it all.
Hit me with something else.
What does String like to dance off of when he's jitty?
I love house, man. See, I'm a house dancer too.
See, I just played this to go back what you said about Chicago. Because Chicago took this song and made a house record. You know, Taxi Cab?
Oh, okay.
That's all they did, Taxi Cab.
Word. I like stuff, you know, like a harder sound, you know. To me, this is like, it's like happy to me, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
okay.
you know, when I did, I want to like,
More aggressive?
aggressive, you know.
Okay. Now you know why I have you, and I didn't do this yet. I do this every episode. Are you coming out to party with us?
Dude, I'm gonna be in Texas during this time.
Are you?
Yes, man, I'm mad too about it.
Now, Mr. No Edit Show, he said he will not be in town, and it will be in the footage. You can't make it. This is a show everybody can't make it.
Yeah, everybody. The next one.
It's not planned. It's not, you know what I'm saying? We're not telling you, hey, yeah, say yes, you're gonna be there. I want people to know that.
Okay, this not
You talking that?
Yeah.
Now see, that's, yeah.
Now I'm wrong, man. I don't see what I can do with this space.
Oh yeah, well, you know.
It's cool, it's cool.
I mean, we just think you like the concrete better than the carpet.